Hey folks, this is Dr. Cummings from BIO4095. We're going to talk about both the Canvas page and the syllabus for this 1-unit course. So Canvas page is launched, so if you go to your Canvas pages, click on BIO4095. Yours will look just a slightly different than mine because I can edit and things like that, but yours will look pretty similar. If you go to the home page, you've got a map of the distribution of various NTDs and how many of these different neglected tropical diseases are distributed where, paragraph describing them and their importance, and then you can find a link to the syllabus that I'm going to go through in just a minute. Under assignments, you're going to see how the course is graded. This is going to be based on a team-based learning approach. Now, there's only 3 of you in the class, so you will be one team. When you arrive, you will have read 1 chapter, and you will take what's called an individual readiness assurance test. In other words, a quiz to make sure you did the reading, you understood what you read, and you remember what you read. We call these IRATs. There are going to be a total of 10 IRATs worth 5 points each every week that we meet, so there's 50 points for your IRATs. Once all 3 of you have completed your IRAT that you've taken individually and you turn it into me, then you'll sit together and I'll hand you another copy of the exact same quiz, and this is what we call a team readiness assurance test. So maybe as an individual you missed a part here, you overlooked something there, but as a team the hope is that you can get a perfect score. That's worth another 5 points. So as an individual you get graded, as a team you get graded. Also a full 10 of them, right? So another 50 points. And then you'll spend the rest of the period going through AFEs. Okay, so these are application-focused exercises. These are just activities for you to go through, guided questions, if you will, for you to think through, talk through. You'll write out your answers together. We'll spend about 10 minutes at the end of class going through your answers, discussing how they influence you, how interesting or not interesting they are, etc. Those are worth 10 points each. There's a total of 10 of those for 100 points. And then on the very last day of class, you're going to take a single final exam that's open book for 100 points. There's a total of 300 points available in this class. And if you do the reading and participate, you should do really well in this course. You can always go to the grade book and see where you stand at any given time. Now, when you click on it, you won't see all 3 of you. You'll just see one of you, but you'll see all your scores. Make sure I didn't type in something wrong. If you got a 10 and I put 0, call me out on it. Let's fix it. And then way down here on the far right, you'll have your total points and a total percentage, so you know how you're doing in the class the entire time. That's it for the Canvas page. Let's open up the syllabus real quick and run through it. It's also simple. So you've got the title, the number of units, when and where we're offering it, contact information for me. We're going to be meeting on Tuesdays from 1:30 to 2:20, starting a week from today. Today is September 3rd. We'll meet on September 10th, though we will not go through a chapter. That's going to be just an introduction to the whole topic and the way the course is going to be run. We're going to meet in Seder Hall 116 during this time. And the book, of course, is Peter Hotez, Forgotten People, Forgotten Diseases. Make sure you've got a copy before the 10th so we can get started. You're not going to want to share either. You're going to want to have your own copy, so pick one up. Office hours, I'll try to be in my office Mondays and Wednesdays down here in Rohr Science from 2 to 4. Your best bet is always to make an appointment with me. Course description designed to introduce you to the neglected tropical diseases. 1 chapter a week from Forgotten People, Forgotten Diseases. We'll meet for group discussion, all based on a team-based learning model. Your learning outcomes by the end of the semester, I want you to be able to describe the NTDs, to explain the impact of the NTDs on global health and development, and to be able to propose creative sociological, political, economic, and medical solutions to solving the NTDs. Here's our class schedule. Look at it, learn it, love it, because we only meet a handful of times. And what that means attendance-wise is you just can't miss. If you miss a class, you lose, well, we'll see down at the bottom, it's like 10 or 20 points from your grade. And if you miss 2 classes, I actually have to drop you from the class. So you've got to be here. So just make this a regular standing commitment. It's not like another class that you meet 3 times a week for 15 weeks and you miss one. It's not the end of the world. It is the end of the world if you miss one of these. So you got to show up. But take a look at some of the topics we're going to cover. The unholy trinity, really cool. 3 worms that cause absolute havoc around the world. Schistosomiasis, filarial infections. neglected tropical diseases that cause blindness. Mycobacteria, it's the only bacterial group I think we're going to get into. The kinetoplastids. Urban NTDs. Most of these are rural, but there are actually some that thrive in urban areas. Most of these are in the tropics, but there are some, certainly historically in North America, and there's still a few that leak in from other places. Now, chapters 1 through 9 we'll handle individually. Chapters 10 through 12 really don't need to be discussed individually. We can lump them together. A bunch of final thoughts from the author. And so the downside to that is you've got to read 3 chapters for that particular week. Thanksgiving break, we'll go ahead and take a break and not meet that week. When we get back from Thanksgiving break, December 3rd, we'll have a review session. You can ask me anything you want from chapters 1 through 12. And in the final week, the last Tuesday of classes, you'll take your open book exam worth 100 points. Okay, so here's what we talked about on the Canvas side of things, right? 5-point multiple choice quiz, 5 questions. You take it as an individual first, then you take the same quiz as a team for another 5 points each. And then you do your application-focused exercises, the group work that you're going to work on through most of the class period, and at the end, take your exam. Here's the grade breakdown. Letter grade breakdown. Read this note. Final percentages rounded to the nearest whole number. Letter grade assigned is non-negotiable. This is pretty important, right? So if you need a particular grade to keep a scholarship, or you're striving to get into medical school or whatever, the grade is up to you, not me. So please don't come to me and ask me that if I can just be nice and give you a better grade, or if I can give you some extra credit to get you a better grade. You just need to do the reading. You need to understand it well. You need to do well in your IRATs, your TRATs, your AFEs, and then on your final exam. So when I say rounded, what do I mean? Let's take a look at this one. If you've got a 71.2, then you get a 71 and you've got a C- in the class. If you got a 71.6, that's going to bump you up to a 72 and give you a full C. So I'm rounding up to the nearest whole number, and then that final letter grade is non-negotiable. So make sure you can live with that, and please, please, please don't come asking me to just do you a favor and give you a better grade than what you earned. You probably know our mission by now. If you need accommodations, by all means, ask for them. It's tough to cheat in this class, but hey, be honest no matter what. FERPA policy just says that I'm going to protect your private information at all costs. Final exams, you got to take it when we offer it. Copyright policy, it really means in this case 1 book per person, so you can't use the other person's book and just make photocopies. That breaks copyright policy. Attendance and participation, this is what we were talking about. So required at all weekly sessions, unexcused absences result in lowering the final grade by 10 points. It's 10 out of 300. But if you miss twice, I have to drop you from the course. So what's an unexcused versus an excused absence? We can talk about it, but unexcused is those that are preventable by you, right? You can't go on vacation in the middle of the semester. You can't sleep in, which would be lousy since we meet at like 2 in the afternoon. You've got to come to class, right? Family functions are not excused absences. Personal leave days, not excused absences. Having a bad week, not an excused absence, right? So make absolutely sure that you do all you can to be in class every single time. We're going to put forward a lot of opinions, so showing respect towards one another, super important. And you can go for an hour without your cell phone. I believe in you. So leave your phones at home or shove them in your backpack or whatever, but don't have them out. Don't be using them during class. That's all I've got for you. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you a week from today on the 10th in Seder 116 for our first class period.